Even if they held jobs for a time, most middle-class women eventually became homemakers. Tucked behind white picket fences, they were supposed to be settled and happy. Some were, but more and more felt like something was missing.
Here they were, they had better lives than their mothers or their grandmothers. They were living in better homes. And they were thinking to themselves, I ought to be the happiest person in the world, but they weren't.
I lived on a cul-de-sac in suburban New Jersey, maybe 30 houses, and there wasn't one woman in any of those houses who worked. And when I started to do this, when I wanted to write, they laughed at me. They laughed at me. What makes you think you can do this?
There was something wrong with you if you weren't happy. You weren't normal somehow. You weren't doing what you were supposed to do as a wife and a mother. And if you had 4 beautiful children like I did, how could you possibly complain about your life? I felt inside very alienated from the world. I felt there was something horrifically wrong with me, that I would want anything other than what I had.
A year ago, this woman heaved a brick through the rose-colored picture window of the American suburban bungalow and invited the resident housewife to take a clear look at the outside world. This book has sold more than 50,000 copies in the hardcover edition, and 700,000 have been published in paperback.
In 1963, a writer named Betty Friedan published The Feminine Mystique, her scathing expose of the happy homemaker myth.
The feminine mystique has made us feel it's unfeminine to use our rights, to really want equality, to want to take part in the decisions of the world in politics. Career woman almost became a dirty word.
Betty Friedan had given up the chance for an academic career to become a homemaker and part-time journalist in the 1950s. Feeling there was something missing in her own life, she wondered if other women felt the same way.
She decided to interview her old classmates at Smith prior to a reunion. In doing that, she surfaced a deep sense of malaise among women who had very fine educations and then felt that they really didn't have choices, that there were no avenues for their talents, and were caught in some profound way.
A woman today has been made to feel freakish and alone and guilty if simply she wants to be more than her husband's wife, her children's mother, if she really wants to use her abilities in society. And
everybody read The Feminine Mystique. And of course, we all had mothers who suffered from the problem that has no name. They didn't know what was wrong. Why were they not satisfied by the 3 children and the perfect house?
Up until that time, I was thinking that I was just different. A lot of my girlfriends were getting married straight out of college. And I was thinking, I don't want to do that at all.